Friends, a very warm welcome to today's episode and a big namaskar to all of you. After the last week when I had taken you to the world of HMT, today I am back and would like to take you back to the world of authors and books. Today I am going to talk to you about Daphne du Maurier. Though her name is a French sounding name, she is an English author, and as far as authors go, she is not a very well known name. But you know what? She is pretty popular with the filmmakers, and at least 7 of her stories have been made into films, including 2 by the master of suspense films Alfred Hitchcock. And those are amongst the best of Hitchcock's movies. One is Rebecca, the other one is The Birds. Before I go further into this episode, I would like to tell you all that today's author was suggested by my elder cousin, and a big thanks for suggesting the name of the particular author. Daphne du Maurier was born in the year 1907, and both her parents were famous stage personalities of the time. Her grandfather was also an author and a cartoonist. In fact, she is from a family of literary artists. Her elder sister was also an author, and the younger sister was a painter. Being from a literary background has helped her in becoming the author she was. Her first book was published in 1931 and was reasonably successful. After a few more books came her most important work, Rebecca, which was published in 1938. This was her best-selling book and has sold more than 30 lakh copies till date and has never been out of publication. For this book, she was awarded the National Best Book Award by the American Writers Association in 1938. After Rebecca came her other important books and short stories. In the later part of her career, she started writing non-fiction and biographies, including the book called The Glass Blowers, where she has given vivid description of the French Revolution and traced her French Huguenot family. As I have already told you, she had a French sounding name, and her family had moved from France to England in the early 19th century. Apart from novels and biographies, Daphne had written 3 successful plays and a collection of short stories. How is her writings? Critics have informed that she was a romantic novelist, but her books, most of them at least, never had a happy ending, and they always had a darker side of human nature in their books. That is why most critics have termed her work as paranormal. Many of her books had the background of Cornwall in the English coast, where she had always stayed. She was awarded the Order of the British Empire with the title Dame Commander in 1969 for her contribution to English literature. Daphne married the famous Second World War general Frederick Browning and had 3 children. Daphne continued to live in Cornwall and write till her death in 1989 at the age of 81, thus ending her life's journey, and what a successful journey it was. Having lived a long and successful life, Daphne was not free from controversy and criticism. When Rebecca was published in Brazil, many have pointed out that it bore a very big resemblance to a Brazilian novel which was published in 1934 called A Successora. This controversy was never cleared, and in the year 2002, in an article in New York Times, it was revealed that the Brazilian author had translated her work into French and sent it to a publisher in France for publication in English. After the publication of Rebecca and its success, it came to be known that Rebecca's publisher was the same as the French publisher. Author Frank Bernays has accused Daphne of plagiarism for his novel, which was written in 1936, The Birds, into her short story, The Birds, written in 1952. Though Daphne was married and had 3 children, it was alleged that she was a bisexual lady and had affairs with many women, including the wife of her American publisher. Okay, now leaving aside all the controversies, let us see a little bit more on her most famous writing, Rebecca. She wrote the book in the year 1937 and 38, and at that time she was around 30 years old, and she was living in Alexandria with her soldier husband. Although she was a reasonably successful writer at that time, having published 4 books and 2 biographies, she found Rebecca a very difficult story to write. In fact, she was so dissatisfied with the first draft that she tore it and threw away that 15,000 words in her dustbin, and in her own words, it was a literary miscarriage. At that point of time, all she had was the title and only this part of the story, that there are going to be 2 wives, one alive and the other dead. Very slowly and painstakingly she had completed the story, and it was a very complex tale full of multiple betrayals, manipulations, and revealing the dark side of human nature. Critics have praised this as her best work. Let us see how Daphne had unfolded the story. The story was told in a first person narration form, and there was no name of the narrator. She was a very young lady and from humble origin, who after a very brief courtship had married Maxime de Winter, a wealthy Englishman, and the marriage had taken place in Monte Carlo in France. Before marrying de Winter, our narrator was working as a companion to a wealthy American lady. After the marriage, she comes with her husband to stay in Manderley, the ancestral mansion of Maxime de Winter. This was Maxime's second marriage. Her first wife, Rebecca, had died in a boating accident about a year back. In Manderley, our narrator is introduced to all the house staff, including Mrs. Danvers, the housekeeper. Mrs. Danvers is fiercely loyal to the dead woman Rebecca and is comparing our narrator in all stages and makes the narrator feels that she is not up to the mark with the deceased Rebecca. Neither she has the looks, nor she has the intelligence, nor she is able to manage the house at all. She becomes very mentally disturbed, and she started feeling that even Maxim de Winter is not in love with her but still adores the deceased Rebecca. All these lead to a depression in her mind, and she decides to commit suicide. However, at the time of her suicide, there was a shipwreck, and the house is in the coast of England, and the sound and disturbance of the shipwreck distracts her, and the tragedy is averted. A navy diver comes to investigate the shipwreck, and during that particular investigation finds the boat for Rebecca and brings it to the shore. Rebecca's decomposed body is also there in that particular boat. Having found the boat, things take a dramatic turn. Maxim now confesses to the narrator that his marriage with Rebecca was a sham, and Rebecca in reality was not the beautiful lady that she was portrayed to be, but on the contrary, she was a cruel, selfish lady who was manipulating everybody around her. On the night of her death, Rebecca has openly taunted Maxim and said that she is pregnant with somebody else's child, and she is going to bring up that child, and Maxim would not be able to do anything about it. Hearing this taunt from Rebecca, Maxim completely loses control and shoots Rebecca through the heart. Later on, he takes her dead body and puts it in her boat and sinks the boat. Since the boat has now come up, there has been an inquest, and in that inquest, the verdict that was given was that Rebecca died by way of an accident. But at this point of time enters Jack Favell, who is a cousin and the secret lover of Rebecca, and he tries to blackmail Maxim de Winter by saying that he had received a note from Rebecca that she would like to meet him secretly that night, and so in his opinion Rebecca could not have committed suicide. Later on, it was further revealed by a medical doctor whom Rebecca was consulting that Rebecca was having cancer and she had only a few months to live. At this point of time, Maxim de Winter realizes the final deception. Rebecca has ultimately manipulated him into killing her, as she did not want a lingering death. When everything is clarified, the narrator and Maxim de Winter return back to Manderley and finds it ablaze. Clearly someone has set fire to that old mansion, and the mansion burns down. This story of Daphne du Mur is a study in the dark side of human nature and has been praised by the critics as a best piece of work. Before I take your leave, I would urge you to read this book, and if not the book, please see the film made by Alfred Hitchcock with the same name. I now take your leave and thank you all, and I am going to see you in the next episode. Namaste.